What was your answer?
Number 5.
But which one? Come on with, get along with. I don't remember. I didn't get it. Well, look forward. What? Which one was?
Look forward to.
Is that correct?
No.
Read the complete sentence with the correct form, please.
We are really lucky in my family because we all get along with each other very well.
Thank you. Get along with, nos llevamos bien. Nosotros somos bien afortunados en nuestra familia porque todos nos llevamos bien entre nosotros o algo así. Get along with. Number 6. ¿Quién no la ha dado? Who hasn't gone?
Me, teacher.
Please.
If done pretty badly in my classes.
No. Oh, is that one? Okay, yeah, sorry. Continue.
Classes this semester. So I'm not really looking forward to receiving my grades.
Okay, I've done pretty badly in my classes this semester. So I'm not really... Okay, looking forward to receiving my grades. Yes, very good. Yeah, I've seen students that they don't even want to know their grades because they know they're bad. Number 7. Somebody else, please.
I can't put up with that loud music anymore.
I don't hear you.
I
Talk louder, please.
Teacher, I have bad connection.
Okay, read.
I can't put up with that loud music anymore. I can't stand hip hop. And I know.
Yeah. It's like to say, I can stand. I can't put up with that loud music anymore. I can't stand hip hop. And I'm going to tell my neighbor right now. So in this case, I put up with is quite similar to say I can stand. Very good. And number 8?
I have been getting sick a lot of lately, and I often feel tired. I really need to start taking care of my health.
Very good. Any questions about this? Congratulations, you have participated well. I can tell that you did this at home as a homework. Very good. Continuing with this. The listening. Let me put the video of the audio. No se escucha muy bien, pero vamos, la única forma.
Page 61, Exercise 9, Grammar Focus. Making suggestions with modals plus verbs.
Maybe you could go to a chat room.
With gerunds. What about taking a dance class? Have you thought about asking your friends to introduce you to their other friends? With negative questions.
Why don't you join an online dating service?
With infinitives. One option is to join a club. It might be a good idea to check out those discussion groups at the bookstore. Page 62, Exercise 10, Listening. All you have to do is Part A. Listen to people give different suggestions for each problem. Put a line through the suggestion that was not given. 1. How to overcome.
Okay, I don't know if you understand what you have to do here. Do you understand? Okay, here are 3 problems. 3 people with 3 different problems. All right? And they give suggestions to the problems. And here are the lists of the suggestions. But one suggestion, only one suggestion from each row is not given. So you are going to identify which one is it. Do you comprehend? Yes? I know you understand. So pay attention.
Shyness.
Well, I think if you're really shy, it might be a good idea to see a therapist or someone like that. You know, to get some professional help. You can't always change by yourself.
Or how about getting one of those self-help books from the library? I'm sure there are books around with lots of good suggestions that you can try.
I think the best thing is to join a club and do activities where you have to meet and talk to different people. Like, if you join a theater group and work on putting on a play, you'll probably be able to overcome your shyness.
2. How to stop biting your fingernails.
I think biting your fingernails is just a sign of anxiety. So the first thing to do is to find out what's making you nervous. Once you've identified that problem and then solved it, the nail biting will disappear.
My sister used to bite her nails all the time, so she started wearing bright red nail polish. She bought the really expensive kind, so she felt that she had made an investment in quitting her bad habit. I think the polish made her think about what she was doing, too. Anyway, after a few months, it worked, and she has really nice nails now. I guess if you're a guy, it's a little more difficult, though.
Maybe you could find something else to do when you're stressed out, like tapping your fingers or counting to 100. You have to try to transfer your habit into a different activity, one that doesn't cause such a problem.
3. How to organize your busy schedule.
To organize a busy schedule, one thing you could do is make a list. I usually make a list of all the things I have to do. Then I prioritize them. Then I decide which days I'm going to get the things done based on which errands are the most important.
Maybe you could use electronic reminders. Put all the things you need to do into your calendar on your phone or your email. Then program it so you have reminders sent to you. For some things, you might get a reminder 15 minutes before, but for other things, it might be better to get a reminder a few hours or even days before. I use that to help me remember people's birthdays.
If your schedule is really busy, it might be a good idea to get help. There are plenty of professional consultants who organize people's lives. It's expensive, but if you're too busy, it's the only way to get everything done.
We are going to listen one more time. Take notes of the answers.
Then I prioritize them. the nail biting will disappear.
Suggestions that you can try. The library.
Therapist or
Page 62, Exercise 10, Listening. All you have to do is Part A. Listen to people give different suggestions for each problem. Put a line through the suggestion that was not given. 1. How to overcome shyness.
well, I think if you're really shy, it might be a good idea to see a therapist or someone like that. You know, to get some professional help. You can't always change by yourself.
Or how about getting one of those self-help books from the library? I'm sure there are books around with lots of good suggestions that you can try.
I think the best thing is to join a club and do activities where you have to meet and talk to different people. Like, if you join a theater group and work on putting on a play, you'll probably be able to overcome your shyness.
2. How to stop biting your fingernails.
I think biting your fingernails is just a sign of anxiety. So the first thing to do is to find out what's making you nervous. Once you've identified that problem and then solved it, the nail biting will disappear.
My sister used to bite her nails all the time, so she started wearing bright red nail polish. She bought the really expensive kind, so she felt that she had made an investment in quitting her bad habit. I think the polish made her think about what she was doing, too. Anyway, after a few months, it worked, and she has really nice nails now. I guess if you're a guy, it's a little more difficult, though.
Maybe you could find something else to do when you're stressed out, like tapping your fingers or counting to 100. You have to try to transfer your habit into a different activity, one that doesn't cause such a problem.
3. How to organize your busy schedule.
To organize a busy schedule, one thing you could do is make a list. I usually make a list of all the things I have to do. Then I prioritize them. Then I decide which days I'm going to get the things done based on which errands are the most important.
Maybe you could use electronic reminders. Put all the things you need to do into your calendar on your phone or your email. Then program it so you have reminders sent to you. For some things, you might get a reminder 15 minutes before, but for other things, it might be better to get a reminder a few hours or even days before. I use that to help me remember people's birthdays.
If your schedule is really busy, it might be a good idea to get help. There are plenty of professional consultants who organize people's lives. It's expensive, but if you're too busy, it's the only way to get everything done.
All right. Did you understand? Did you get it? Well, let's find out. So, how to overcome shyness? How to stop being shy? How to be more sociable? Of these four, which one was not mentioned? A ver.
That not mentioned is take medication.
Which one? Take medication. Yes. Take medication was not mentioned. This is delicate. You have to be a doctor to send somebody to take medication. Which one you think is the most helpful and why? Which one is the most helpful For you.
The most helpful, I think, is the see a therapist.
Why?
Because this is a person, a professional that I know that.
Okay. Who has another answer? Who thinks differently? What are other suggestions? Can you make any other suggestion? What would you recommend to a friend? Come on. What would you do if it was you? Have you suffered from shyness? I'm gonna ask somebody. Christopher.
Yes, teacher.
What would you suggest? What other suggestion would you give to overcome shyness?
Have a friend.
And how do you make a friend?
Please repeat the question.
And if it's a shy person, it's not easy to make friends. What would you recommend to that person to make a new friend?
He can start with your
Come
family.
on, think. Okay, probably joining a club or joining an activity or practicing a sport or trying to make friends at school or in the university or when you work in groups or probably joining social media. There are many ways. I don't want to know the ways. I only want you to speak. I only want you to participate more. That is the idea. Number 2, how to stop biting your fingernails. Which one was not mentioned? Which one was not mentioned? Okay, I'm going to start asking. Natalia, which one was?
Wear gloves.
Wear gloves. Yes. Although, sounds effective to wear gloves. Yeah, but they mentioned count, paint, figure out why you're nervous. Which one is the most helpful for you, Natalia? Which one is the most helpful and why? Natalia. Okay, anybody else? Which one is the most helpful? Why? Well, I think the most helpful is if you're a girl to paint your nails. And probably another suggestion will be, I don't know, to put something in your fingers like paint or something disgusting, so you won't get your fingers to your mouth. I don't know. I've heard that there is this liquid that they put into kids, babies, so they don't bite their nails. Okay, number 3. How to organize your busy schedule. Which one is not mentioned?
Cancel appointment.
To cancel appointments. And which one you think is the most helpful? Tell me.
Use the program your phone. The scheduling
You program your phone, right?
Yeah.
And what other suggestion can you give? Can you give any other suggestion? To use post stickers, to tell somebody to remind you. I don't know. Look, speaking. Guys, I need you to speak. And I'm gonna leave you with this homework. And it will be classwork. And we're gonna do this reading. Están como dormidos. Tómese un café. Necesito que hablen. Hoy estamos a la mitad de la asistencia. Aquí tengo un poco de mensajes que tienen problemas con el internet. Tenemos a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 estudiantes de 13. Okay. Make 3 suggestions for how to break each of these bad habits. Then share your ideas with the class. Which ideas are the most creative? Yo les voy a dejar aquí unos minutos. I'm going to leave you here a couple of minutes. Cada uno le voy a preguntar. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to think. How can I stop doing these things? Buying things I don't need, eating junk food at night, and cracking my knuckles. Now, you know what is cracking your knuckles, right? This. I do it. And this is bad, supposedly. You can get arthritis. But yes, and you're gonna use this prompt. One thing you could do, for an example, or you can say one option, you're gonna utilize these prompts. Why don't you? It might be a good idea. Have you thought? And as a homework, you are going to write. Okay, but these are 2 problems, and you're gonna give them suggestions, 5 each. Well, I say homework, but it's classwork actually. Okay, so 2 to 3 minutes. Think. If you want to take notes, I want to deactivate this for a moment. Okay, number 1. How can I stop buying things I don't need? Who can tell me?
Me, teacher.
Please.
Take to the mall only the money you are going to.
Complete sentence. Complete sentence.
One option is to take to the mall only the money you are going to spend.
Okay, very good. That is a very good recommendation. Anybody else? Any other recommendation? But but okay, that if you have credit cards or if you have like a debit card, it won't work. Or to go out with your credit cards, well, how are you gonna pay if you go to the mall if you want to eat? Probably if you only run cash, it might work. Any other suggestion?
Teacher, other suggestion is the best option would be that they were not a mall.
They were not
A mall.
a mall. To not go to a mall.
Not go to a mall.
To not go to a mall.
Sino
Okay, but you don't only buy things at the mall. You can buy things online. You can buy things from your cell phone, right? So you don't necessarily have to go only to the mall. You have stores in the street. So I struggle with this. This is a problem that I think most Panamanians have. Panamanians, our culture, people people live with paydays for the quincena only, and I tend to not save. We need to save. It's difficult to save, especially in these times. And also being locked down and the possibility to buy online is very tempting. Right. Anybody else? Any other suggestion?
Maybe you could leave the credit card in the house.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Repeat. Maybe?
Maybe you could leave the credit card in the house.
Maybe you can leave your credit card in your house. Okay. But that would be, I don't know, to be in the street without any money, without anything. Well, this one is a good one. Okay, eating junk food at night. Oh my God, I suffer from this. Or any kind of food at night. How can you do to avoid this? Eating junk food at night. Anybody? I have a good recommendation for this one. Come on. Arturo.
Yes, teacher.
One recommendation to stop eating junk food at night.
Prepare healthy is not to eat at night.
Okay, but how? You have to say how. One option is when you go to the supermarket, do not buy junk food, only buy the necessary. So when you are at home at night, you don't have junk food to eat, right?
Teacher,
That would be one. Yes.
um, other is what about um, taking change junk food, um, the buy fruits or yogurt.
Okay, buy fruit and yogurt instead of junk food. That is a very good one. Very good. Thank you. Next one, cracking knuckles. How you stop that? Leslie, Lisette. Is Leslie there? Anybody? Dice que el micrófono no sirve. Okay.
Teacher,
Yeah.
read about how cracking.
What about?
Huh?
Okay, sorry, continue.
Read about how cracking your knuckles will harm them on the long run.
Okay, if you crack your knuckles, you will harm them at the long run. Yeah, and you could suffer from arthritis. Okay, good. Homework or classwork. Actually, classwork. Imagine you are an advice columnist at a magazine. Choose one of the letters below and make a list of suggestions. Then reply. But you're going to give me suggestions for both. Usted me va a dar para las dos, no solamente para una. Léame, read please. Somebody read number one.
Okay, my best friend seems anxious.
Anxious
A lot. She bites her fingernails and always looks tired. I don't think she's eating right either. How can I convince her to take better care of herself? Worried.
Thank you. Here, she's showing some different symptoms. She's anxious. She bites her nails. She doesn't eat right. She's not taking good care of herself. So here are some issues. So you're going to make some suggestions. Tomorrow, you're going to read them. You're going to do them today here in class when we finish. This is today. This is classwork. This class ends at 4, and we don't end at 4. So if we were in a real class, this was like to do now, and then to read right away. But this is a different process. Somebody else, read this.
I argue with. Okay.
Okay, ladies, first, always.
Yeah.
Senorita.
Okay. I argue with my girlfriend all the time. I try to do nice things for her, but we always end up in a fight. I can't put up with this much longer. What can I do?
Frustrated. This is a difficult situation. This is couple problems. I am with my girlfriend. Um, she doesn't care about the guy. He is always fighting. I can't put up with this much longer. What can I do? So you're gonna write. I would like you to write down like a paragraph. And actually, you have to write down a paragraph. It's going to be 2 paragraphs. Imagine that this is a magazine. Like this is I don't know what magazines you read, or I don't even know if you read magazines. Magazines are not too popular nowadays. When I was a kid, in the 90s, when there was no internet, I remember that everything was magazines. If you wanted to know about your favorite rock band or musician or artist, you had to look up on magazines. If you wanted to, excuse me a minute. If you wanted to finish a video game and you wanted to know codes or strategies, you had to buy magazines. There was no internet. And so on. If you wanted to, I don't know, to read some interesting article, or if you wanted to do some homework or research, you had to look up magazines or books. So imagine that you're writing for a magazine and you're answering to these people as a matter of a column, a paragraph, and you're going to respond to these people. You're going to write, yeah, Mr. Frustrated or Mr. Worried. One thing you can do, a small paragraph, one thing you can do is blah, 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 blah. Hey, Mr. Worried, one option is to yada, yada, yada. Okay? That is what you're going to do. You're going to write. And tomorrow you're going to read. I'm not going to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. You need to read it tomorrow. Okay? Remember that tomorrow you have your first grade. Tomorrow you have to upload your video. Remember. And you upload it here. Esto aquí marca si usted lo entregó tarde o si lo entregó a tiempo. Vamos a ver si yo le puse la hora. Que a veces se pone como que la hora de... La hora... A ver, está para el 27. Hoy es 26, mañana... One moment. Sí, no, está para... No, lo voy a... Tengo que ponerlo para el 28, si no va a salir como que lo entregó tarde. ¿Por qué a mí me salen los mensajes de la clase de intermedio? No sé qué yo hice ahí. Y en esa clase sí escriben ahí en ese chat de Teams. Y cada cosa que escriben a mí me llega aquí. Yo no sé qué yo hice para que a mí me estén llegando eso. Los de ustedes, sí, porque es nuestro grupo, pero ese grupo allá, ¿por qué me tiene aquí? Ay. The 28th. Ahí está. Let's continue. Where were we? Okay, for tomorrow. Reading. Critical thinking. Look, I read and you take the pronunciation and then you read. Have you ever said something and then regretted that you didn't think carefully before opening your mouth? What happened? Think before you speak. Has everyone ever said that to you? It's only human to react quickly and perhaps emotionally to things that happen. But without giving ourselves sufficient thinking time, we might see things in terms of black and white instead of considering various shades of gray or other colors. Also, it's all too easy to ignore connections and consequences. Volunteer.
Fabiola.
Read, please.
Think before you speak. Has anyone ever said that to you? It's only human to react quickly and perhaps emotionally to things that happen, but without giving ourselves sufficient thinking time. We may see things in terms of black and white instead of considering various shades of gray or other color. Also, it's all too easy to ignore connection and consequences.
Thank you. Next. At one level, thinking is fairly simple. For instance, it might simply involve making a shopping list. However, there is a deeper and more complex level of thinking. This is often called critical thinking, and it has several characteristics. First, it requires that you rely on reason rather than emotion. This means you have to look objectively at all available. Look, this is interesting because if I say complex, con esta acentuación, complex, estoy diciendo complejo, pero complejo de complicado, pues, complejo. Pero si yo digo complex, estoy diciendo un complejo de, por ejemplo, un complejo universitario, un complejo hospitalario. Interesante, ¿verdad? Pero en español decimos nada más complejo. Ok. Read. Come on. Come on. Jose. Jose, read, please.
In this often.
At one level.
At one level, thinking is fairly simple. For instance,
For instance,
it meeting simple involve
it might.
make a shopping list where there is a deeper and more complex level of thinking. This is often called critical thinking, and it it has several characteristics. First is required that you really on reason rather
Rely.
rely that emotion. This means you have to look
All right.
object,
Objectively.
objectively and the available, available, available.
All right, thank you. This is the same paragraph. It says evidence, to all available evidence, and decide if it's true, false, or perhaps partly true. Second, you have to be self-aware and recognize your biases and prejudices, because this may cause you to think subjectively. A third characteristic is that you need to be open to new ideas and interpretations. Somebody to read this. ¿Quién no ha leído? Vamos, por favor, que estamos terminando. Cada uno que no ha leído, lea, colabore.
From where, teacher?
What?
Second.
Here, el que acabo de leer.
Okay. Second, you have to be self-aware and recognize.
Here, evidence.
Evidence and decide if it is true, false, or perhaps partly true. Second, you have to be self-aware and recognize your biases and
Prejudices. Prejudices.
Because this may cause you think teacher?
What? Subjectively. Esa, subjectively.
Yes, teacher, subjective.
Subjetivamente.
Okay. A third characteristic is that you need to be open to new idea and interpretation.
Ideas. Plural. Thank you. ¿Quién más no ha leído? ¿Quién más no ha leído de esta
Hi,
lectura?
teacher.
Me, teacher, me.
Avila.
Ok,
Me,
Arturo viene después. ¿Quién más? Leslie no escucha, no puede hablar, no sé, el micrófono. Natalia. ¿Qué leyó? Natalia.
No, teacher.
Ok. Ok, uno corto. ¿Quién más no ha leído? Christopher ya leyó. ¿Quién fue que acabó de leer? Christopher.
Yes, teacher.
José ya leyó.
Yeah, teacher.
Bueno, Arturo, tú vas a leer este largo aquí. Critical thinking can help you in just about everything you do. One of the most important things it helps you do is solve problems. This has always been an asset in many traditional fields such as education, research, businesses, and management. But it's also very useful to help people keep up with the new fast-moving knowledge economy, which is driven by information and technology. Ok, vamos a dividir hasta aquí technology para que sea un poquito más equiparado. Let's divide it to make it more equal. So here it says technology. Arturo, critical thinking to technology. Come on.
Okay. Critical thinking can help you in just about everything you do. One of the most important things it helps you do is solve problems.
Very good.
This has always been an asset in many
Asset.
traditional
Un bien, asset.
In many traditional fields, such as education, research, business, and
Así como
management.
que vamos a hacer un business, así igualito, business.
Yeah, teacher. And management, but is also very useful to help people keep up with the new fast moving knowledge. Teacher, me corrige. Knowledge.
Bien.
Yes. Knowledge economy, which is driven by information and technology.
No espere que yo lo corrija, usted dele. Si yo lo corrijo
Okay.
ahí, usted dele. We all sometimes speak before we think, and we all have blind spots. Nevertheless, while thinking critically doesn't always happen automatically. It will certainly serve you well, whatever you do in life. Natalia, creo, ¿verdad? Desde aquí, modern workers.
Modern workers often have to analyze and integrate information from many different sources in order to solve problems. We all sometimes speak before we think, and we all have blind spots.
Blind.
Never blind spots.
Nevertheless,
while thinking critically doesn't always happen automatically, it will certainly serve you well, whatever you do in life.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Here we have some exercises. Read the article, then write the numbers of each paragraph next to its main idea. Okay, for many people, critical thinking is useful in the workplace. Workplace, su trabajo. What paragraph? I think it's this one. Esto va a ser difícil hacerlo porque...
Paragraph number 3.
Ok, muy bien. Pero es un poquito difícil hacerlo así porque... Yo no sé si ustedes ven bien. Yo veo bien porque yo tengo la computadora conectada a un televisor. Pero yo no sé hasta qué punto, porque a veces me dicen los estudiantes, teacher, no se ve, no puedo. Yo no sé si usted ve ahí. Si ve ahí, genial. Por eso yo les digo, esta clase no es para hacerla, no es para estar en celular. Esto hay que hacerlo en una computadora bien hecho, para que usted vea bien y también pueda abrir documentos aparte y eso. En un celular es muy limitado. Se puede, sí, pero es muy limitado. Number 2. It's worth the effort to think critically. Well, it's not a question. It says it's just a statement. It's worth the effort to think critically. What paragraph is this?
Number 2, teacher.
Number 2. Yeah, it could be. It might simply involve making a shopping list. However, there's a different, more complex level of thinking. It requires that you rely on reason rather than emotion. Yeah, but I believe also the number 4. And this part. Yeah, the 2 or the 4. This one, we often don't allow ourselves enough time to think. Which one is it? The number 2. Critical thinking has 3 important aspects. What are those 3 important aspects?
Number 2.
The number 2 too. So number 3 gonna be probably the number 1. This here the answers might vary, I believe. And what about read about these people? Which of the 3 characteristics of critical thinking did they need to apply? Explain your answers. Okay, this one, let's focus. Check if the evidence is true. Recognize your prejudices. And be open to new ideas. Read number 1.
Teacher, I don't see.
The letter C. Yeah. You have to be open for new ideas. What if you are a deck cadet? Or let's say a deck officer, and they offered you a job, I don't know, working in a port. It pays good. You're not gonna say like, oh no, I only want to work on board. I don't want to work in a port. Or probably they offer you to study to be a captain or a, I don't know, chief engineer. You're not gonna say like, no, I want to be an officer only. I don't know. Number 2.
Letter A, teacher.
But read.
Check if the evidence is true.
Yeah, what? Read.
Bella received an email from some she didn't know.
Someone.
Someone she didn't know. The email say she had won 1 million in the lottery. She immediately bought a new car.
Immediately. Ya ves por qué te mando a leer. Hay que leer. Check if the evidence is true. Who hasn't gotten those emails saying that you won? Somebody from Africa or somebody from I don't know where, but saying that you won something or many millions. You're not going to rely on that. Could be possible. Who knows? Number 3.
Ian thinks our new neighbors are loud, but I disagree. I think he's just more sensitive to the noise because they play music and watch TV shows that aren't in.
Okay, which one? Is the only one left, right? Obviously, is the B. Recognize your prejudices, tus prejuicios. Yeah, I don't know. Some people just don't like something because they have prejudices. Sometimes it's religion, sometimes nationality, languages. But that is a different topic. Okay, thank you. How good are you at critical thinking? Yeah, guys. Think and overthink. Any questions? Hemos oficialmente terminado. We have officially finished. Unit number 9. Empezamos con la 10 de una vez, no hoy, ya para mañana. Si nos da el tiempo. Mañana vamos a revisar los videos. Yo espero ver 13 videos ahí. Mañana los vamos a poner aquí.
Teacher,
Dígame.
tenemos una consulta respecto al video.
Ajá.
Es que mucho estamos dando otras clases. ¿Cree que podría ponerlo unos días más? Pues tenemos bastante
¿Por qué?
tarea.
¿Para cuándo?
Viernes o sábado.
Pero esto es un video de 3 a 5 minutos. Yo no creo que usted le demore. La verdad, yo no considero que esto es una tarea que usted le va a tomar mucho tiempo. Eso usted lo puede hacer en 15 a 20 minutos. Digamos que usted lo quiere planear, eso no le va a tomar más de 1 hora. Yo la verdad, le soy sincero, yo no considero que yo deba tener que extender eso, porque usted lo puede hacer entre hoy hasta mañana. Lo puede hacer hasta mañana a las 12 de la noche. No, perdón, que estoy hablando, perdón, no, hasta las 12 de la noche no, Lo puede hacer mañana hasta la 1 de la tarde, que empieza la clase. Estaba pensando a las 12 de la noche porque el sistema acá cambia a las 12 de la noche en la plataforma, pero no, mañana tiene hasta la 1 de la tarde. Miren, si usted en verdad considera que usted necesita tiempo, ok, pero yo considero que no. Y yo quiero mañana en la clase poner todos los videos. Y yo espero poder ver los 13 videos. Y como les digo, no me gusta estar cambiando las fechas. Así que, si usted se pone las pilas, usted se hace en 15 minutos. Come on, guys, come on. Usted puede. Así que espero pues mañana. Vamos a dejar la clase de aquí. No vamos a hacer repaso, sino hasta la unidad 10. El mismo libro nos bota un repaso aquí, cada 2 unidades, que se llama el Progress Check. Así que nosotros empezamos de una vez con la unidad 9, con la unidad 10, y ya después viene el Progress Check, que es este que está aquí. Así que por favor, guys, yo quiero ver ese video mañana en clase. Es más, esta clase se está acabando ahorita y usted tiene 1 hora con 15 minutos para hacer ese video. Y esta clase se está acabando ahorita porque usted se queda con tarea también. Usted se está quedando aquí en la plataforma con los dos. Recuerden que usted tiene que escribir 2 párrafos que mañana lo vamos a leer en clase. Algunos estudiantes no me han mandado la tarea del voice note. Yo ya que expliqué. Y si no entendió, mire el video de la clase. Ahí están todos los videos. La clase de ayer está ya aquí. Está en YouTube. El video con fecha y tema. No, que yo no vine a esa clase. Sí, pero aquí está. Entonces, aquí usted se queda con la tarea que dijimos que estará en clase. Usted se queda con estos videos. Aquí hay como 30 minutos de video. ¿No? ¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Yo, teacher, yo tengo problemas con el Discovery que no me deja entrar.
¿Por qué no lo deja entrar?
No sé, lo he intentado varias veces con mi cédula y no me deja entrar.
Cédula arriba y abajo, con guiones y sin guiones.
Sin guiones, todo.
¿Cómo se llama usted?
Chacón José. José.
Porque tú estás ahí.
Ya lo intenté varias veces.
¿Cuál es tu cédula? ¿Cuál es tu cédula?
897-1410.
8897-1410.
10.
Y si yo entro, ¿quién más tiene problemas para entrar a Discovery? De una vez voy a ver eso. Vamos a, tú dices que probaste sin, ¿cómo se llama? Sin,
8-9. Sí, así, sin guión.
sin guión. ¿Quién más? Ya, los demás han entrado a su Discovery. ¿Quién ha entrado a su Discovery? De una vez, por favor, díganme.
Sí, bro.
Y usted, su cédula tiene, ¿cómo se llama? Su contraseña tiene guiones o no? Cállate.
Es la primera vez que uso Discovery.
Sí, pero de los que han logueado aquí, su cédula a lo que entran es con guiones o sin guiones.
Sin guiones, profe.
Es sin guiones, así que la cédula, entonces este muchacho sí no puede entrar. Ya voy a informar, Chacón.
Gracias, teacher.
¿Quién más? Por favor, vean sus discoveries, que después va a ser muy tarde. Yo tengo estudiantes que esto les ha afectado la nota. ¿Alguna otra cosa? Bueno, pues, estamos por terminar la sesión. We have finished the class. Thank you very much. Say goodbye. You see that you're there. Okay.
Bye,
Remember
teacher.
the assignment for tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
See you tomorrow.
See you, teacher.
See you, teacher.
See you, teacher.